is Anne, and this is Toby. And welcome to episode 34 of a Tobyknits podcast. In this podcast, Toby and I chat to you about knitting, crochet, sewing, and crafty stuff. Because I am retired, I live with my husband Bob and Tobes in a little village just outside of Ottawa in Canada. And so I live a crafty life, which is kind of good because right now in lockdown, again, that's all I have to do. There's nothing else. Well, that and drink tea. This is a Tazo tea, and it's called Zen. Oh, Daddy's going to go see. You want to go see Daddy going? My husband's gone to do the groceries. I don't do the groceries. He doesn't let me go in the grocery store, so I have to stay home, which is fine. I just make the list, and then I have to put it all away when he comes in, of course. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, my tea. So it is a Tazo tea, and it's called Zen, and oh my goodness, it really is lovely. It's a green tea with lemongrass and spearmint. Oh, it really does. And it's not like a bitter. Sometimes green tea can be bitter, I find anyway, but not this. This is lovely. So it's really good. And of course, this is my mug because I am British. I came over here when I was 25, which is a long time ago now, because I'm not any longer 25. And yes, I do have a British accent. I don't use it though, because you wouldn't understand me, because I'm from Liverpool. So this is my Canadian accent. Anyway, let's get on with what to expect today. First off, if you are new, well, great, welcome, come on in. These videos usually last about 20 minutes, half an hour, depending on how much I waffle. And we talk about, as I said, knitting and crochet and all the fun yarny goodness that I might have or might not have bought. And Toby wants to sit up here again. Toby always sits behind me on the chair when I'm working, so keeps him quiet. He just loves cuddling, my Tobes. Oh yeah, so keep waffling today. This may be longer than 20 to 30 minutes. So you can find me on Instagram as Tobyknits. I am on Facebook as Tobyknits and have a Facebook shop on Tobyknits. You can also find me on Ravelry as Brit Hockey Mum. And I actually don't have a group on Ravelry. I wonder whether it's worth starting one. Would anybody be interested in that? Let me know below, where we can all talk about our knitting and stuff and have conversations together. And hey, maybe I'll do some freebie things or whatever people do when they have groups, you know, or knit-alongs or something. Oh, let me know what you think. And I also have an Etsy shop. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it going or not because of the Facebook shop, but I think I will for a little longer. So there's also an Etsy shop called Tobyknits. And I have decided from a lot of requests that I will start shipping out to the US and anywhere in the world. I can't guarantee how long it's going to take you. I have been waiting for my Crochet Society box. I think it's number 19. Since, well, let's say I think it was mailed the end of December, and I'm still waiting. So I can't guarantee how long, and I do normally just send stuff by regular parcel. I don't send it expedited or any of that because it's so expensive to mail anything these days. I hate the whole idea of the shipping for you guys, but I can't do anything about that. So Anyway, it will ship everywhere, and I do have bags in there and stitch markers. I will have a shop update later so you can see what I'm talking about. So today we're going to talk about finished objects and whips, and I do have notes because otherwise I forget what I'm talking about. And then there's a new section I've called the bears, which, ooh, I can't wait to show you that. And then what you got, Anne, which might be some new things I bought, and the shop update. So let's get started with finished objects. Now, the first finished object I'm going to show you has a really long tail to it. So I'll start with the tail, but I have to pick Toby up again because he keeps jumping down to go and see where Daddy's gone, and now he's decided, okay, fine, he's left in the truck, so we're good. It is snowing outside. Toby's not a fan of the cold, but he does love the snow. So, me, I'm not a fan of the snow, period. The cold I can put up with, but not the snow. I've never quite been able to walk in it ever since I've been here 37 odd years or something. And you'd think I'd be used to it by now, but I honestly cannot walk in the snow very well. I think I'm going to fall over all the time. Plus, like when we get snow, we don't just get a bit. We get like inches and inches and inches. So when you put your foot in for the first time, it disappears to your like top of your knee or something, you know? So it's a struggle to walk in it when it's that deep. Anyway, don't like it. So anyway, back to my story of this first finished object. So we all watched the inauguration. We all did. Well, I did. I never thought anything of it. It was just a nice event. Nothing drastic happened. It was great. A couple of days later, I kept seeing these memes everywhere of this little man sitting in a chair. And I didn't know who he was. So I said to my husband, who the heck is this guy that I keep seeing everywhere? So I Googled him. Who is Bernie Sanders? And of course it came up that he's a congressman in the US, and he was at the inauguration sitting all by himself with his jacket on and, you know, these mittens or something. And so I thought, oh, he's weird. And then the next day my husband Bob says, oh, look, there's a crochet pattern. The Bernie Sanders thing. I'm like, really? Literally an hour or so later, my stepdaughter messages me, do you think you can make this with a picture of the Bernie Sanders doll? So I said, yeah, I think I probably could. So I ordered a pattern. And the pattern is from Toby Time Crochet. So not me, not Tobyknits. Toby Time Crochet. I'm pretty sure that's what she is. And she's also on Instagram. So I purchased the pattern and I made one. Here's my Bernie. And he does have wire in his legs, so his legs can cross. And he's a sitting, his bum is flat, so he sits. And I just thought he was the funniest little thing. So I made him for my stepdaughter, who then promptly messages me back and says, can you make me 2 more? And I said, okay. So a friend messaged me and said, are you making the Bernie Sanders doll? And I said, well, maybe. And she said, can you make me 4? So apparently now I'm making Bernie Sanders dolls. And I decided to do them on a kind of a production line version. So I started with all the bums and did 6 bums in one day. Then I did the bodies. Then I did the heads, which I think they're really sort of sweet like this. Then I did all the legs. And now I'm working on the mittens and the arms. It is a bit fiddly, I'm not gonna lie, especially the mittens. But, you know, it's keep me busy. So that's my first finished object of the week. Next finished object. You remember I showed you this little guy last week that I did. Or was it 2 weeks ago? I think it was 2 weeks ago. I might go back to the weekly. So I made this little guy 2 weeks ago. I'm doing an amigurumi, along. Emmy along, let's just call it that, with amigurumi.com. And every month they have a little Ami along, and there's different things. So this is February's. Well, they start the middle of the month. They start like the 15th of the month and go on to the 15th in the next month. So this was, it's the current one. And so it's the little boy, and I finished the little girl that goes with him. Aren't they cute? And I don't know. Ooh. Stop. We're on TV. There's kids watching. Yeah, these are super cute, and there is a little heart that goes with it. So he's giving her his heart. And anyway, I think they're really very cute. Oh, she has a little necklace on which keeps wanting to curl. It's a heart. Come on, get your necklace right. There. Anyway, so that's Violet and Valentino. And maybe I'll put them up there now so you can see them along with Peter Penguin. Oh, they're going to knock over my plant. Oh well. Okay, relax, guys. They're up there now. And they are, I can't remember who they're by. I'll put in the thing here the name of the designer. Arnata, I think it is. Something like that. So those, I really enjoyed making those. Those are really sweet. And so, of course, that now brings me to the last finished object, which is my Slipstravaganza by Stephen West. How absolutely ridiculously gorgeous is this? I love it. And let me show you how big this baby is, if I can. Maybe I can't. Isn't it amazing? And you can wear it several ways. The way I had it on like this behind, or you can put it on like this, all grannified, and flick it over your shoulder. But I love it. And I cannot remember the yarn I used for this. I think it was heritage, and I don't remember. Anyway, there's 3 colors. There's 4 colors. There's the main color, which was the dark purple. That is a heritage yarn. That was a sole fingering weight. This was Italian plum. That's that one I do remember. Then there was just a regular white in the heritage. And then these 2 were yarns I got from Knit Crate ages ago. And this is like a bluey color, and that's another purple color. It's hard to see, but oh, I love it. It's so nice. It's so nice and warm and long and beautiful. And I have a little video that I put together of me trying to wash it. Well, because anytime you make something, it kind of is all scrunched up. And the stitches need to relax and spread out to get the full beauty of the pattern. Because you couldn't quite see these diamond shapes in it before it was blocked. I never really got into the whole blocking thing until recently, and now I love it. Jesus, Toby, would you? What? No. What? Okay, it's on my lap now. Let's see how long this lasts. I've never really subscribed to the whole blocking thing. I always block my socks the very first time just to get the right shape, but I don't normally do anything else. So I've started doing the blocking in the last couple of months. And so I'll put a little video I made here of me soaking it. So I put it in some lukewarm water with some gentle Eucalan soap, and you let it sit for like half an hour just to relax the stitches, and then squeeze it out, roll it. Anyway, you'll see what all I did with it right here. So here you can see I've put my Slipstravaganza on the floor, having just done the final cast off. And you can see you can't really tell those gorgeous triangle shapes when it's just all sort of scrunched up. So we're going to fix that now. Now I have it in some lukewarm water with some Eucalan, and I'm just letting it soak for about 10 minutes. Once I've got to give it a gentle squeeze with my hands, I then roll it up in a towel. This is the best way of getting most of the water out without really damaging the yarn. Typically I put it on the floor and then stand on it just to make double sure all the liquid is out. And then into the bedroom and onto the mats that I have. It was too big even for my 4 big blocking mats that I have, so I had to use the actual bed and attach it. So it is gently being moved on, and all the points pulled down into position. Then I will let it just lay there and dry for about 24 hours, and then it miraculously holds its shape. Isn't that cool? And just look at all the detail that you can see way better now it's been blocked. Look at those beautiful diamonds. Love it. So there you go. That's what I did with my shawl to make it as beautiful as it is. Love it. I just love it. Anyway, so what are my whips? There has been no love for Thumbelina or the Bug Rattle. Bug Rattle's over there. So there's been no love for him. Thumbelina is also up there in her bag. No love for her. I have been working on the Winterbird socks, which are, I had joined in the, because it's like I have nothing else to do, the Rainbow Sock Chronicles, which is being run by Kelly of Lay Family Yarns and Jooles of So Sweet Violet. Both are British. And so each month we're doing a different sock with whatever sock pattern you want. And but I did choose to do, for this month, to do the one by Jooles, which is called Winterbird. And so this is Winterbird, and this is the first one I've done, and it's toe up. Yeah. I've never been a lover of toe up, but I have actually enjoyed this one. And then there is the really cute little pattern. It's very easy to follow once you get going. It really is a straight base bottom. And then look at this lovely heel flap. Isn't that lovely? I really like that. I'm not sure how I did that. I followed the pattern, but I thought it turned out really good. And I did remember to do the Judy's Magic Cast Off. No, somebody's Stretchy Bind Off. Somebody's Stretchy Bind Off. I don't know, but I did that, and I'll put it there. So that was the first one I've done, and I am now on the second one. I am obviously behind because it's now February the 2nd, and I should be starting the February socks. But this is the February one, and there's one of my little stitch markers that I sell in my shop. And so I'm just on this, and this is the part now where I'm doing the increases for the heel here, which, so there's the front and the back, or the back and the front. So this is coming on lovely. This yarn is, what is this yarn, Toby? This yarn is Dawn Orchid Stellina, which is hand dyed in Canada, and it is called Shooting Starlight, and it does have sparkles in it. Very pretty. So the sock color for January was pink, and so that's my January socks, which I need to catch up on. Now I want to tell you about the bears. And this was a project I thought would be really fun to try. So come on my journey with me. We'll do it weekly from now on, so you can see how the bears are progressing. So what I decided to do was I wanted to see the difference between the amigurumi, yeah, and a knitted item. Because I've done a couple of knitted items in the past, and I'm just starting to get into the amigurumi. So I decided to do this bear, which is called Candy Bear by Mary Jane's Tea Room, and she's on Etsy. Fabulous, fabulous. Or, which is knitted, or this bear, which is the January's Ami along with amigurumi.com, and obviously it's crocheted, and it's a polar bear, but they're both bears. But I thought it would be fun to see how they went. So I have notes. I made notes in my happy planner of how things are going. So let me show you, first of all, in this bag, which is a Craft House Magic bag, is the polar bear. And we started with the polar bear with his nose, just the gray part, which is completely so that's kind of, anyway, because I'm not so this is his nose, which we started with, and then we did the muzzle, so this part here, and then you attach the whole thing. You put these two together and attach it and do the rest of the head, and of course add his eyes. And isn't he lovely? I love the yarn I'm using for this, which is a Sheepy's Catania cotton, 100% cotton, and I really love it. It's got a little sheen on it, and it glides through. I'm using a 2.5 crochet hook, and it just glides through. It doesn't, it's a twisted, I think, but it doesn't split. Oh, and it's so easy to see the stitches, so easy. Then I had to do his tail. Then I had to do his ears. So there's 2 ears, which obviously will at some point go on when we're doing all the, and this is his neck, which it's, I'm not really, anyway, I think it sort of goes on him like that maybe. And then the rest of his body will, I don't know. But and then this is one of his feet, 4 somethings, arms, which obviously goes, oh dear, like that on him, I think. Anyway, this was very interesting as well to do, to get this whole shape. Do you see that? Like, really interesting. And like I said, if you were doing this in a woolly wool, it might be hard to, but it really is lovely to work with this yarn. I'm really enjoying the yarn. So I have done the nose, the muzzle, the head, his ears, the tail, and this is the only the 4 part. Now it's very fiddly because you've got all these little bits, and at some point I'll have to sew them all together. So while I'm loving that, I don't know if I love the idea of sewing all the little bits together at a later date. Now let's chat about Candy Bear. Candy Bear started with a foot and went on to, so started with a foot, you did the both feet, and then you attach, you stitched up so far of this, and then you attach his legs, and then you keep going until you get to the top. So that's his body. These are both supposed to be, Candy Bear's 11 inches tall, and the polar bear will be 10 inches tall. So again, it's going to be interesting to see if my sizes come out, because I feel like my gauge might be a little, I'm a bit of a loose knitter and crocheter, but I'm still enjoying the way they're looking. And so here is Candy Bear, and Candy Bear is the Tea Room, Mary Jane's Tea Room Bears. I'm using a 3mm double pointed needles to make him, and I started them both, I should say. Him I started January 25th, and the polar bear I started January the 26th. And the way I'm doing it is one evening I work on the bear, and the next evening I work on the polar bear. So I'm going backwards and forwards with them both, but it's so cute. Look at it, look at his feet. Ooh. And they all, both of them come with clothes. I have to make shoes and a jacket and a t-shirt for this guy and pants, I think, and then the other one has a jacket with a hood and a scarf and then a little bird. So there's all other bits to go with these. So this is really cool. I am now working on his head. So this is the beginning of the head, and it was interesting. I mean, I use DPNs, double pointed needles, for sock knitting, but of course lately I typically tend to make my socks with magic loop. But it was interesting getting back used to working with double pointed needles. At the beginning, when you sort of cast on a few stitches and there's only a few stitches on each needle, I was having trouble keeping them on the needles at the beginning and getting my hands all used to how you hold it and all the rest. It was kind of, it was all fingers and thumbs. But once I got into it and got going, I love the control I have now of the needles and you know, you finish a needle and there's only a few stitches on it, and then you're on to the next one and on to the next one, and every time you finish you're like, oh, I'll do another row and another row and another row, and it's really nice. And this yarn is very nice too that I'm using. It's a Cascade 220 superwash, and this is yarn I used for a bear I knit for my grandson before he was born back in March, April, I think. And no, that's not what I used it for. I made a blanket for him out of this, and it's very soft and squishy and lovely. And I don't really know if it's a DK weight or a worsted weight. It doesn't say on here, and I'm not really sure. So, but anyway, I am really enjoying my bear. So that's the progress on the two bears. So what do you think? How much fun is this going to be to see how they both turn out and how big they're going to be, and to decide on, you know, like with all the faffing of the double pointed needles and how enjoyable it then becomes, to the fiddly sewing everything together, but how much I love the yarn I'm using to crochet it. So anyway, I'm just so excited about that whole project. I hope you are too. So now we get to the What You Got Ann, and I'm still waiting for my crochet box. I'm still waiting for my sewing box. I'm still waiting for some new charms to make into stitch markers for my shop. But I did get, and I love this, Cascade Yarns Heritage white, just a white. I really love this yarn a lot for sock knitting. It's really nice to knit with, and it's very soft, and it seems to hold its color and its shape. So I like this a lot. So I got that because it will go with these yarns that I got last time we spoke from Lay Family Yarns, to go with this will be my February sock. And I really like, I love white. I like white in anything, as you can tell. Like I'm a, if you were card making or journaling, I like white space. So so this will go lovely for the socks. I have a lovely pattern I'm going to be making for it. I'll put that pattern picture there to show you. So that's what I'm going to make with this for February. So I'm anxious to finish my January socks so I can get on with these, because I think these are going to be lovely. And the other thing that I got in was because I've started using this yarn for amigurumi, I was using Stylecraft DK, which is like a acrylic, and this is a cotton, and they tend to hold their shape better, I've been told. I don't know. I've never used it before until the polar bear. So I decided I wanted to make, for my stepdaughter's little chap, for his birthday in, I think it's March. She said that he might like, he loves Sonic the Hedgehog or something, and he likes Robo. I asked him who his favorite character was, and she said Eggman, which is Robotnik or something. I don't really know. So I got a pattern for him, and I wanted to try a different type of cotton to see how the other stood up. So I ordered some paint box cotton. I get most of my cotton, yarn from either Yarn Canada, but this I actually got from Lovescraft, I think. Or maybe I did get it from Yarn Canada, I can't remember. But it's a cotton DK. And so I got a few of them so that I could make this little robot chap. And then of course I have a whole bunch then of different color cottons, because with amigurumi you don't actually use a lot. These are 50 grams, I think. Yes, 50 grams, and you don't use a lot. So it'll be nice to have a whole little section of cotton, so that when I do decide, and the difference I've found with them, that I think, is that I don't know if you can tell the difference. This one, which is the Ketonia, is shinier, and this one is very flat. There's no shimmer. Can you tell the difference? I don't know. Yeah, I think you can. Yeah, you can see it's slightly different. So anyway, I'm excited to build up my little stash of amigurumi cottons, and that. So last but not least, and is my shop update. So as I said, I do sell on Facebook, but I am starting to sell back again on Etsy. And in the store right now, I have this one, of course, which is, I figured I could still keep it in. It isn't really Christmas, it's just polar bears. It is my small netherwood bag. Then I have this small netherwood bag again, and this has got little doctors, and I thought it would be fun because of this epidemic we're going through, to pay homage to some of our, if you have anybody that you know who's a nurse and needs some downtime in between, or doctor, and they knit, this would be a fun thing for them to use. And these are zippered and lined with a pocket. And oh my goodness, that snow's coming down now. And then this one again is another small netherwood bag, and this one is just a purple flowered one, and the lining inside is the same as no, it's purple. It's hard to tell that, but it's purple. And both these two bags come with a little notions pouch, which is a popper. And again, they're lined. So they both come with this to keep your notions together. And then I do have another bag in my shop, and this is called the Bradshaw bag. And the Bradshaw bag is bigger, let me just put them together, than the netherwood bag. And it is quilted at the bottom, and I do hand quilt them. I'm not really great at doing all fancy things like Ellie does on Craft House Magic, but I can do a regular quilt. So these are quilted with the nice foamy quilt in the inside, and they have a drawstring, and they are lined with a pocket. And so I have two of these in the store currently, and I have some fabulous fabric that I will be making up some, which will go with the stitch markers that I'm waiting for. And of course, in my store, I do have my stitch markers, which are, there's this set, there's a couple of these, which are the stitch markers and the progress keeper. They're little doggies. And I have a couple of those in the store. Then of course there are the regular little paw. And if you purchase a bag, you actually get one of these free. But if you don't want to purchase a bag, but you want the stitch marker, they are in the store. This is a progress keeper. And then there are also, because Toby and I love camping, so there is a little trailer, and it comes in pink and the green. So those are what are in my store right now. Not a lot, but it's a start. I have started. And yeah, so I hope you have enjoyed this video. Oh, Toby's in his bed underneath there now. And have enjoyed the things I have been working on. I hope some of them might spark an interest for you to try. Just a side note on this lovely thing, and I do love it. I started this in October, and I really enjoyed it until the last part when there was 900 stitches on the needle. I had to keep changing my needle and cables just because I'd run out of space. But it was lovely to knit. Honest to God, it was lovely to knit all the different textures and the different patterns and things we were doing. It never made me bored whatsoever. I would definitely do another mystery knit along with Stephen West for sure. So I hope you've enjoyed it. As I said, please give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe, please subscribe. The more people I can get to subscribe, the more it helps you guys as well, because YouTube will then, if you've liked my video, they'll find you other videos similar to mine that they will then recommend for you. So subscribe. There is a bell icon if you want to click on that so that you know when I'm gonna make my next video. I was doing them every 2 weeks, but over Christmas I did them weekly, and I actually am finding that maybe weekly is the way to go. So, and they won't be as long as this one is. Thank you so much for sticking to the end, and I will see you in a week when we check out how those bears are coming on. Bye for now.